I've been debating how to start this. I don't know what to say. I don't know how these work. This isn't my specialty. I make movies. I make cinema. I spend my time thinking about cinema and framing and long-form storytelling that comes about through long periods of deep contemplation and thought. And this is not that. This is, well, I didn't know what it was going to be until I started listening to Diary of a CEO, which is an amazing podcast. And I think if you're in that space of a creator or an entrepreneur, you should definitely start listening to him. He just started recording, and what came out was this cool, open, awesome thing. So I'm just going to try that. I have a lot I'm going to share in these videos, assuming they continue, assuming this one works out. There's a lot I'm not going to say, partially because I think that I'm still working through some things, and there's some things I think that the world may not be ready to hear. And also because some things I want to announce with, sorry to get archaic, but pomp and circumstance. I want it to be released at a certain time to have a certain effect. So those are the limitations, but otherwise I'm going to try and be as open as possible within those constraints. I became a filmmaker. I was recently having, let me back up. I'm producing right now my second short film in this new sequence of my life, and it's called Go Gentle. And I worked with an actor in my previous short film, which is Libertas, and that is currently entering the festival circuit, as they call it. And one of the actresses was amazing, Caitlin Patricia Weiler, and I want to work with her again. And so I met with her for coffee, and she agreed that she wants the part, and the conversation went well. And one of the things that Caitlin specializes in is she's good at social media. I have like 700 followers on Instagram. She has 100 times that, 70,000 followers. She's good. She posts regularly. It's consistent. And I asked her, what's the secret? What should I do? And she's like, you got to identify your brand. And I don't know how to think that way. I spent a couple days trying to figure out what's my brand. Maybe a brand will emerge. I don't know. But what the Diary of the CEO Steven dude really helped me realize is that just do it. So I got to pause now because I'm actually giving my brother a ride. I want these videos to be 7 minutes long, or at least 11 minutes long, because one episode of that Diary of the CEO said that social media and short form video below 10 minutes is bad for us, like bad for our brains. It was not him saying it. He was interviewing a couple psychologists and people who explore that space. So I'm not going to do that. These are 10 plus 11 minute videos, whatever, and that's what they are. And if that's too long, this is not for you, which is fine. Maybe you come across it, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Move on. The world will provide you with what you need, and if this isn't for you, that's, I hope you find what you're looking for. I noticed I was watching my previous video to kind of catch up with what I was talking about, and I noticed that I'm sniffing a lot. I have allergies. California and my sinuses do not agree with each other as much as I wish they would, and I take 2 anti-allergy medications, and they mostly work, but the allergies are really bad because global warming is changing the weather, and my nose doesn't adapt quite as quickly as I wish it would. So sorry for all the sniffling and snorting, but that's probably going to continue. So if that's not for you, maybe there's somebody else doing this that is for you. yeah, I don't know what my brand is. All I can tell you is my journey and share it with you, and you can come along, and if you like it and it resonates with you, great. I'm not just going to talk about filmmaking because that's not the totality of who I am. I'm going to talk about being a husband to my wife and courting her, if it can even be called that, and my spiritual journey and philosophy, and probably not current events unless they are deeply impactful directly into my life, simply because there are plenty of people giving hot takes on current events, and that's not what I want to do. As I said earlier, I like filmmaking because it is intentional. When I write a script, or I don't write it once. My feature length stuff usually has 40 to 50 drafts. Drafts are various iterations. And I only update a draft when I send it out or it reaches some major mile marker. So it's not necessarily a page one rewrite, just that's what draft is to me. With this current script, with Go Gentle, I'm working with another filmmaker, or another writer I deeply respect, Matt Wallace, and I think we're on like draft 15, 10. And that, I'm not even counting the drafts he did before it got to me, which was more than one. And so hot takes just don't really appeal to me because I like to think about things. I like to think about them from a variety of angles. And so I'm usually just not up to date on the latest thing. In fact, I don't even like consuming movies or music when it's cool, because I want it to kind of be its own thing in relationship to me, where I am in the moment, as opposed to it being part of a larger social conversation, which I appreciate. That's just not what I do. There are people better equipped to analyze movies and music or whatever as it comes out. For instance, I recently discovered Radiohead. I didn't like them earlier, but a friend of mine, a musician named Eric, that I deeply respect, I asked him what he thought, and he introduced me to Kid A, and to me it was a revelation, and I listened to it pretty much nonstop for a month. Before that, I was listening to Hanya Rainey, a brilliant pianist from Northwestern Europe, I think. Now I've moved on to, well, I haven't moved on. From there I moved to listening to Sigur Rós. They were huge when I was in college 20 years ago, and that's not now. But they posted arguably their best album, Takk, T-A-K-K, on YouTube in its entirety, a remixed version of it, and I listened to that every night as I washed my dishes. Now I'm kind of hanging out with either my jazz playlist, which is like from the 50s, mostly Miles Davis stuff, and also the Icelandic composer Jóhann Jóhannsson, who is unfortunately dead, but I love his work. It's contemplative, like I want my movies to be. So I guess I'm not going to get into how I became a filmmaker. I guess that's just the preface. That's what I listen to. These are my reflections. They are in the moment me, but I'm going to be talking about stuff that I've thought about a lot. Even this video, even this form, is something that I've been thinking about for about a month, whether I should or should not do it. So yeah, a part of me doesn't like these because I feel like it's for me it's transactional. That I want to share myself in the purpose of to the end of getting you to like these videos and watch them and subscribe, such that we're enough numbers that I can effectuate the change in the cinema ecosystem by getting you to come to the theaters. And I don't like that. I don't like that transactional nature. I want to be real with real people, which you all are. I don't know where the balance of that is. But rather than just vacillating over what I think it should be and entering into what my marketing brothers call the paralysis of analysis, I'm just going to put this out there and do it and be in the space that I'm in. I hope you don't find it transactional. I hope you find it meaningful. I hope that if you do find it transactional, that you get something from it, that it resonates with you and you're encouraged to continue your life and go wherever it seems to be taking you. But I guess that's it for this video. Yeah. My name's John Schieffer. This is a video thing a week. I'm resuming that title again. So enjoy. See you next time, if there is one.